My name is Samuel Leggett with JVS Media Productions. What's going on, Ryan? What's going on, Michael?
What's
What's
going
happening,
on,
bro?
bro?
Hey, I'm just gonna keep it a buck. Sinners has stuck with me from the moment that I saw it. Ryan and Michael, I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys my two questions up front. Ryan, first for you. I know a big proponent of the foundation of this had a big connection to do with your uncle
Yeah.
and the Delta Blues. And I think the big thing about it is when Delroy's character was talking to Miles and basically letting him know, like, this is something that we brought over, that it's our ownership. It brought me to the thought about music. Music in and of itself, just like the scene, is transformative. Like it literally changes the way our minds work. And I was going to ask you, like, how do you hope that Sinners will foundationally set the tone for the next generation, whether it be music or our story, right? And then for you, Michael, man, you just have such an amazing ride with this man. Like you guys are like legit blood brothers, and I'm proud of you guys, honestly, from the bottom of my heart. But me, I really want to ask you a conventional story, like how did you get into this amazing immersive character? But I mean, you're playing dual roles. It's almost impossible, right? And I think you're doing an amazing job with it. But my question is a little bit more bold. I know you love anime, and I know that you talked about Fire Force. I know you talked about Fate Stay. And I'm gonna pitch something to you. Have you ever thought about using Gotcha Coulda? The style, the representation. You got this man to your left that can co-write, co-direct. I think you would nail it. Just gotta go there, bro. I apologize.
It's anime that just dropped. It's like
Got you,
it's
got you,
clean.
got you.
Got you, Kuda?
Got you, cool.
Yeah, it's clean. It's clean. It's dope. Yeah.
I'm not as hard, you know what I'm saying? Not as into the into anime as Mike is. You gotta fill me
Yeah,
in with.
you finished the season? Yeah, it took some twists. I ain't haven't read the mangas yet, but it's like it caught me off. I like watching. If certain ones I go and read ahead. You know, other ones I like to kind of like watch it as they animate them. But yeah, it was that was a clean one. But what's the question though?
He asking if
Would
That was
you
a
ever
good.
direct it? Would you
Yeah,
make a
asking if
live action version of
Oh,
that?
you
Could
know
you
what it is?
consider doing it?
You know that one's tough. I feel like with adapting anime into live action is like sometimes a lose situation. You know, I think it's really hard to sometimes really hard to cast the right way. You know, but then also, you know, there's a lot of things that lives in that fantastical, you know, space, you know, that we can get away with in animation that's really hard to kind of like do in live action. So it you know, that always gives me pause. But hopefully one day, you know, the tools that are going to be available to us, you know what I'm saying, in the future, it'll make it a little bit better to take a swing at, you know.
Absolutely.
But that's a good
And
story though.
and Ryan, what about you? Your question.
Yeah. My question was not an anime one, right? Like this is yeah. So what do I want? I mean, bro, like for me, if I can like inspire folks to consider like looking within, you know, within themselves, within their stories, and uh finding the cinema that exists there, potentially uh and specifically like the ones where like there haven't been enough, there hadn't, like, I realized there hadn't been enough movies about the blues, um, and um, and I think that for me, I went all the way to the continent to go uh, research Panther, like and working on the Panther films, which we made both of those together, um, and I had this fantasy about like a pilgrimage to the continent, because so many of my ancestors hadn't been there, had lived, been born in, lived and died, uh, in North America, had not ever been back to the place of our origin, right? So I was really excited to go, and I've been all over the continent several times, and I hadn't taken a pilgrimage to the South, just straight up for cultural purposes. You know what I mean? And that uh, it was a lot of shame around that for me,
Mm,
because our people were there more recently. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm from
yeah.
Oakland. You feel me? Uh, you know, we was a couple of generations removed from the South, and I hadn't really been there and spent time there, soaked it in, made connections there, like and this film gave me the opportunity to do that, and it was like kind of like an unlikely place for me to look, but in retrospect, that should have maybe been the first place, you know what I mean, and so. You know, if the movie gives anything to like aspiring filmmakers or artists, is to like, dig deep within yourself and your story. Within your story is the story of your ancestors. You know what I'm saying, and maybe look in the nooks and crannies that you hadn't thought to turn your artistic lens on. You know, you might find something really compelling and interesting for the audience. You know.
No, I'm firmly behind that because it's feel ownership that we don't even take that we know that we could. And so
Yeah.
I think the movie embraces that completely. And like I said, you guys complement each other. I mean, Michael, you trust him completely and you trust him completely. Ryan, you can tell through the screen, y'all are amazing with that. So I appreciate y'all for talking with me.
Bro.
Right on, bro.
Appreciate
Absolutely.
you so much, man.
All right. Y'all take care.
Right now.